Yeah, no, I call bullshit the 2022 on your comment. Your comment goes as follows. He can't turn it off because out of the whole team, he has had by far the least experience with his ability. He's had his ability the same amount of time as the Fantastic Four. They were literally exposed at the exact same time. What does this comment even mean? I don't even, hey man, go off, man. Cope if you need to. Peace.
All right, and our Bible verse of the video goes as follows. Let's get into it and then get back to the main video.
So yeah, a quick little biblical mess up when it came to me pronouncing the passage or verse which this one come from. It's Colossians, not whatever the hell I'm gonna say in these next few seconds. Anyway, just want to let you guys know. Peace.
Here in Colossians, here in Colossians 1:13, and it goes as follows: Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Again, that's Colossians 1:13. Now let's get back to the main video. Peace. I feel like this is like the perfect shot. Like this is the perfect camera angle for my videos. But anyway, I'm getting off track already. Anyway, so The Man of Steel. I think that bar none, this is the best Snyder film and the best Snyderverse superhero project I've ever seen in DC. And before you get crazy with the topic, that doesn't mean like this is the best Superman movie. No, by no means. We're going to break it down right now anyway. So let's get into it. So the movie it takes a lot of liberties with Superman, a lot of Christ imagery in this movie. We're going to get a lot of that throughout the depiction of this movie. And when they talk about hope and all that, I think they do a great job depicting the future of Superman and what Superman stands for as far as hope and being someone like a guiding light for the people of Earth. I think more than anything that no one talks about enough is that idea of Superman portrayed to us in dialogue, right? It's only in practice that I think they fall short, right? Because I feel like the destruction and constant property damage is something that Superman would avoid more than anything. And I feel like it doesn't get really addressed in that same way. Because it's like, yeah, Superman would never even fight Zod in that way to where it would be cause for that type of destruction. And you see this a lot with this version of Superman. It's like, he's very petty. And it's just something that Superman would never be. Like when he's dealing with this bar guy, he's like, he destroys his car and then has to change locations again in a very David Banner-esque way or Bruce Banner-esque way. He's looking for a car to get a new lift for his new life again. And what people don't talk about enough in this movie, when I, look back on videos and content creators making video essays on it, yeah, Superman does save a lot of people in this movie. Like his first real action, quote unquote, as an adult is him literally saving an oil rig full of people in the most Chad-esque way possible, by the way, because, it's a Zack Snyder movie and I gotta respect it for that because, he's not a sniveling weasel. So yeah, moving on. Yeah. He saves the people, he saves the oil rig. We get a good test of what he's unsure of because he has the strength to do it. He's unsure of himself. And you see that even in his body language when he's lifting the oil rig. But aside from that, yeah, no, I think the depiction of Krypton is ridiculous. No, it's so hyper fantasized and I hate this version of Krypton more than anything else. It's dirty, it's disgusting. It's weird and has dinosaurs roaming around or weird type of pterodactyl-like creatures just roaming around. And it's like, no, I'm not okay with it. No, just keep it sterile, keep it futuristic and not dirty. It's like, it has this almost Game of Thrones-esque aesthetic to it that I don't rock with personally. And aside from that, yeah, no, I think Zod is the perfect depiction of Zod in this. I think him being General Zod and him literally existing for the safety of Kryptonians and him doing that, it's like he's the hero of his own story and Kal-El is the villain. And you feel that. And they do a great job portraying that with the actor and just with the directing of his character. Like you feel his passion and his devotion to Krypton. Like bro, Zack Snyder, good shit. I can't even lie, that shit was amazing. Like everything with Zod and his goals are perfect. Now, does Faora get much to do? No. Does Namek get much to do? No. And there's a lot of Kryptonians in this movie. And I know it's a Superman movie, so yeah, it's supposed to be, but not really. Like usually we get like one, maybe two, maybe three Kryptonians, in a singular like Superman thing all at once, whether it be like Superman the Animated Series or like, any other insert Superman media here.
A few minutes later.
Yeah, but no, there's like an army of Kryptonians that Superman has to fight and the scientist Kryptonians and all that. And they get sent back to the Phantom Zone. And I'm like, there probably is no way to salvage that. And also Superman destroying the little, test tube babies. Yeah, no, at least we know this Superman is pro-choice, unfortunately. So yeah, Obviously, he is pro-murder because this dude is doing a lot of murdering in this movie. There's no way the people in the Smallville are okay or their livelihood is okay. And again, that's something that Superman would just never do. He would try to save as many lives as humanly possible, even at the expense of his own life. He would never just sit back and just be like, Krypton had his chance. That is crazy work. Zack Snyder, what? Like, nah, like that's crazy. And personally, like, I'm not gonna pretend like that was a good idea. No, there's so many good parts about this movie. Like the choreography is probably the best, bar none, to this day. Like, I know Superman and Lois has some good shots and has some good fight scenes, but you can still feel the budget in it. You can still feel that it wasn't a movie. But I feel like, yeah, Zack Snyder, when it comes to action scenes, whether you love him or hate him, yeah, no, the dude knows what he's doing when it comes to just portraying powerful people punching each other in the face. Like, yeah, no, the fight scenes as far as like Kryptonians boxing other Kryptonians are done to perfection, in my honest opinion. I think it hasn't looked any better since, and I don't think it ever will. It might with the new Superman movie, but you know, fingers crossed. But yeah, no, there's a special place in my heart for Henry Cavill's Superman, and it always will be. You know, I feel like he just has so much potential. He could have been like the modern era's version of like what we view Superman as. And again, the potential was there with Man of Steel, but as he went on, yeah, Zack Snyder just kind of lost the plot with Superman, you know what I mean? And again, the suit is terrible. Like, hear me out, right? I think everything about the suit is fine, but a good saturation does wonders. It is not hard to have a brightly colored Superman suit. I don't like, it doesn't make Superman less manly, Zach. Like, I never understand the obsession with degrading the freaking saturation when it comes to Superman suits nowadays. It's not even just Zack Snyder, even Superman and Lois, the darkest of dark colors that I could ever see. It looks almost gray with how dark blue it is. You feel what I'm saying? Even the red doesn't pop as much as it should. You feel me? And it bothers me more than anything else because like I'm just like, no, it's just not okay. I'm just not a fan of looking at it. You know what I mean? But I think aside from that aspect of the movie and that part, yeah, no, I think the movie is just okay as an action. No, I'll be honest. As an action film, I think it's alright. I think it's fine. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me. As a Superman film, as an adaptation of the character who's been around for a long time and is very easy to get right, but for some reason people are like it's impossible. I think it's not the greatest. I'm gonna be honest. It's like I ain't gonna lie. With the destruction that this Superman does inadvertently, whether or not we talking on purpose or not, yeah, no, it's a no-go for me. I'm gonna give it like a 3 because like Clark Kent would never do any of this. They treat, like, I feel like Zack treats Superman in the DCEU like he treats him like he's
A few minutes later.
born on Krypton and raised on Krypton. He's a god and he should view himself as such. And you see that with the other movies with, you know, Zack Snyder's version of Superman. They treat him like he was just born and raised on Krypton when he wasn't. He even acts that way. It's like he should be the most corn-fed guy. And also, don't even get me started on Jonathan Kent being like, oh, maybe Clark should just let a bus full of his friends get croaked just to protect his secret. It's like, what? Jonathan Kent would never say this. Seriously, Zach, what were you cooking? Like, it's honestly kind of crazy how they just kind of just pretend like you're supposed to be okay with that. It's like, no, because Jonathan Kent would never say this. He would never do this. Same thing with Clark, just willfully throwing Zod's body around Metropolis and around Smallville as if it's the end of the world. It's just crazy to me. And even after the movie, the city is literally in ruins. I'm like, bro, how is this even habitable at this point? It would take literally 10 years to get half of the destruction away from a visual eye. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it is crazy to me that people are like, oh yeah, this is like peak. It's like, no, if you're a Superman fan, this is almost character assassination. Like, literally, it's right on the edge of character assassination and just someone else's adaptation of Superman. You feel me? It's like right there. Like, it's very easy to see, like, yeah, Zack Snyder doesn't know shit about Superman. And like, I can't really blame people for saying that. Like, cause it's like, Jesus, the mistakes in this movie on Superman's adaptations part of the video, it's like a lot. The man is like so reckless. And you could argue, oh, he's a younger Superman. Superman in general is just Clark Kent with a cape. Clark Kent is Superman. It's not like, oh, he's a disguise. Like, the only disguise is the bumbling idiot, because he has to play up that role so no one knows that Clark is Superman. Superman is who Superman is. And that just is what it is. There's no, oh, deceiving people. He's not playing up the macho, machismo Superman role for the general public. That's who he is. He is literally him. He is a savior and a protector of the weak and of the innocent. Truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, or American way, whichever one is your fancy. And having that version of Superman not be displayed constantly on screen gets annoying to me. But I feel like we get too much evil Superman. Like, there's not too much Superman where it's like hope. Like it's some cynical director or writer just putting his own grievances with God in some cases, or the world. The lack of faith in humanity is my issue, and I think that's the only reason why I'm looking at the James Gunn Superman with such like optimism, because I think he can bring hope back. You know, you will believe a man can fly, if you will. And I hope that we get that same energy with this movie as all of the movies that, you know, got Superman right did, or TV shows like Smallville or Christopher Reeves or any other version, you know what I mean? And I think from what we've seen, we got a good look at that. I'm just hopeful for the future. I hope that we don't get, you know, rampaging murderer Superman or vindictive or spiteful Superman. I just want a Superman that gives you hope, that gives the people hope. The reason why I have it tattooed on my chest is because I don't want to ever lose that hope. You know what I mean? So aside from that, man, I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Peace.